And hello everyone. I feel like I already know some of you and all your faces. This is the second time that Yonatan and I are here. And first of all, I want to thank you that you are here and you come to listen and to be with us. So thank you very much. We are going to talk. I got the easy part and asking the question, so not nervous at all. We're going to talk about October 7th, about the hostages situation. And I think we need to say that Itan Alexander, that we are waited for him and the other hostages to come back to us. He's right now on his way to his mother and father, and this is very emotional day for us. So this is a start, I hope, for a good news. And we are taking hope from everything, and this is one huge hope. So we would get started. And Yonatan, will start with you. Can you tell us what happened to you and your family on October 7th?
Yeah. So I used to live in Kibbuz Kfar Aza for over 30 years. On the 7th of October, I was in my house with my pregnant wife and 2-year-old daughter. All my family lives in Kibbuz Kfar Aza. My parents live a couple blocks behind me with my younger sister. I'm the eldest. I had 3 brothers and 1 sister. And 2 of my brothers lives in the center of the kibbutz. One of them, Ido, is the member of the Kitat Konenut, the security team of the kibbutz. And Alon was living in the youth neighborhood known as Dor Tzair, where most of the people from Kfar Aza kidnapped from. And my wife wakes me up at 6:30. She really need to shake me in order for me to get up. And when I get up, I hear the sirens, with so many. And my wife, she's from the north of Tel Aviv, and she was 26 weeks pregnant. And I was afraid that she's going to get buried because it was so stressful for her. And I try to keep the environment as calm as I can as we go to the safe room. And as we enter to the safe room, I close the door and I tell her, listen, Natalie, I think there is a kidnap situation in the border because I live in Kibbuz Kfar Aza for over 30 years. I know I've been in all the wars, all the operations, I know everything, and this is what out of the ordinary. The amount and the scale of the alarms and the missiles, it was something else. And after a few minutes, my brother Ido sent me a message. He sent me that they called the security team to pick up the guns from the armory because there is terrorists inside the kibbutz and they need to fight them. I didn't really stress because I told myself maybe there is 3 terrorists in the fields. Probably the IDF already killed them. And a few minutes after, I got a video in WhatsApp group that is not related to the kibbutz, with white Toyota pickup trucks go one after the other in a back gate of kibbutz. As I zoom in, I understand this is the Kibbuz Kfar Aza. And then I understand we are in a different situation, something that we never imagined. I immediately walked out of the safe room to the kitchen. I grabbed some kitchen knives and some water and my daughter's birthday cake. She was born the 7th of October 2021. She was supposed to celebrate birthday that day. All the family was supposed to come to my house to celebrate birthday. And I entered the safe room, and then I get another message from Ido, my brother, and he sent me a message that is in total different vibe. He told me that he managed to escape. He encountered hundreds of terrorists. He managed to kill some, but it was so, there were so many. And he told me that half of the security team lost their life. And the security team of Kibbuz Kfar Aza there were 15. All of them are my good friends. Some of them are my best friends. And he wrote every name that he saw. And every name, it's like a big punch in the stomach, to say the least. And then I understand two things in 7:30 in the morning. First, my best friends are dead. And second, there is no any armed force that now fighting with the terrorists. Now it's any person by himself. It's like a Russian roulette. As I sit and hold the handle door of the safe room, I made a path in my head that says that no matter what happens, my wife, Natalie, and my daughter, Yali, will exit the mamad safe and sound. Nobody will enter the mamad. Nothing will harm them. I need to keep the environment inside the safe room as calm as I can in order for my wife to not give birth in 26 pregnant, because I don't have the knowledge how to give birth in this early stage. And for my daughter, that she will keep her sanity. And I told to myself, what's happened in the mamad is a birthday. It's the best day of our life. We need to celebrate. This is the only thing we do. And as soon as I made this utopical path in my mind, I start to get messages from all around the kibbutz that I don't wish you even to read them. You immediately understand that there are terrorists all around the kibbutz. Because you know everyone, it's a close community. You understand immediately that they are everywhere. People screaming for their lives. They messages like, they hear, they're shooting at my door, they throwing a grenade at me, they hit me, I'm bleeding, where is my parents, where is my kids? They try to burn my apartment, I'm cold, I'm warm, I don't feel my leg, don't feel my arm. And you know them by name, you know them personally, it's not easy. And in 10 in the morning, my brother Alon sent me a message that the terrorists go inside his house. And then I understand this is the last time I'm going to speak with my brother. I've learned in the past 3.5 hours that people that wrote the terrorists go inside their houses, after 5 minutes don't write anymore. So you understand that this is the last time you're going to speak with your brother. I wrote him that I love him and he is strong. He sent me a heart emoji. This was the last time I spoke with my brother. It was the hardest test for me to not break in the safe room, not to cry, not to yell, not to try to get out and be a hero. You need to wear your fake smile and play the role of everything. It's okay. It's the best day of our life. And of course, I start to grieve on my brother at this moment. My daughter Yali, she was so happy. I mean, she was 2 years old, and the safe room was her playroom. She had 3 stories chocolate cake. She watched YouTube like 4 hours. She was like, it was like all the things that a 2-year-old kid wants. And it was a climax. And she wanted to sing and dance, but we need to be quiet because there is terrorists outside. You can hear the AK-47, the RPG, the Arabic. You need to be quiet in that sense that you even consider if to turn on the AC, because the compressor of the AC is on the roof, and we know that there is terrorists on the roof, and if they will see the compressor is working, they will understand that the AC is working and there are people inside the house. So we need to calculate everything. And she wants to like sing the songs and, rightfully, but we need to keep quiet. So I didn't tell her, Yali, shut up. There are terrorists outside. They're going to hear you and come and kill us. I told her, Yali, we're going to play a game, a whisper game. If we whisper, we get a balloon, we will get out. So I managed to keep the environment in the safe room as calm as I can. And it was not easy to play the role that everything is okay. But I promised to myself I won't break down and I won't do anything to shake the environment in the safe room. Around 5 afternoon, my neighbor, he lives like four houses from me, sent me that terrorists go inside his house. I immediately understand that we have like an hour maybe after they finish with him. They like go from house to house until they reach to mine. And then you start to picture all the scenarios that you postponed. And you start to measure your kid with your hands to see if she fits in the drawer of the closet. If you can hide her over there. My wife, she was 26 pregnant, so there is no way I can hide it. So you try to understand what you're going to do if they will enter. You're going to ambush them in the living room. You're going to just beg for them to kill you and not your family. You start to picture everything. Luckily, IDF force managed to rescue after 4 hours my neighbor. And I was in the safe room for over 20 hours without food or water with my wife and daughter. We got rescued to Shfaim. And the first day of Shfaim, we were together, all the family. Basically, we want to be together just when they let us know that Alon was killed and they identified his body, so we can be together. But the IDF told us that there are more than 2,500 bodies in Shura Machane, and we need to be patient. So we waited a week, and after a week, the IDF told us that he managed to finish to identify all the Kfar Aza bodies. So then we start to bury Kfar Aza members, 62 members. And on the hotel lobby, where all Kfar Aza evacuated, and there was put a sign, and it's called daily funeral something. And then they with handwrite, they wrote like serial number and the name of the person, the name of the cemetery, when the funeral is starting, and when there is like bus to the funeral, and you have between 7 to 12 funerals a day, almost for 2 weeks. And I don't wish that you have the dilemma to you need to choose to which funeral you're going to go. You know everyone by name. Some of them are your best friends. So now there is 64 members of Kibbuz Kfar Aza for over 21 cemeteries in all around Israel. And after we bury them, as you know, in Jewish tradition, there is Shivot. in Israel, if you don't have enough space in your house, they make Shiva tents. It's very common in Israel. Try to imagine 30 Shiva tents that cover like fields. And everyone in you start walking right one after the other. It was very tough days. After 2 weeks, the IDF told us that Alon is kidnapped and he is alive. And it was the best day of my life. I immediately understand that if Alon was kidnapped and he is alive, we're going to make it. In the military, he was in a unit that go into tunnels. He's very strong-minded, mentally and physically is very strong. And I was sure that if he will do 200% from his side, I will do 200% from my side, he will get out. It will take months, it will take years, but he will make it. And then I started to go around the world, try to convince all the world leaders that hostage deal is something that they need to push and do everything in order to release the hostages. And I've been in the capital speaking with congressmen, senators, Qatar ambassador in DC. I've been in the European Parliament for 2 weeks, spoke with the Prime Minister of the European Parliament, with the President of the European Parliament, their deputies. I lost my fear on the 7th of October. I was brutal. I didn't care. What is your role? What is your job? If you have any way to really affect and do something, I will meet you. And on the 15th of December, the IDF come to our room and told us that Alon unfortunately killed by the IDF operation. And I don't know if we have time. We don't. But when they came and told us, I was praying to die. I saw a black screen in front of me, and it took me a while to stand on my feet. After the 7th of October, it took me a while to eat more than one meal a day and sleep more than 1 hour at night. Even if you're so tired and you sleep in your bed, you lay on your bed and you try to close your eyes, the things that you see, it's a nightmare that you can't avoid. And I told to myself, I can't do this anymore. And I really prayed that I get a heart attack when they told us. And there is a thing in Kibbuz Kfar Aza that is not really a thing, but it is a thing. The people that come to comfort you on the funeral and on the Shiva, there are people that lost everything 2 months ago. People that buried my friend that buries his 2 parents. When they burned to dust, they buried them in dust. Good friend that buried 2 of his parents and one is little brother. A grandmother that she is no longer a grandmother because all of her grandson got murdered in the safe room. Those are the people that come and hug you and tell you, listen, everything is going to be okay. I will do it. And you look at them and you don't understand how they even able to talk, to dress, to get up in the morning. And yeah.
We moved to Liran. What did that day look like for your brothers and your family? Walk us through.
So, my parents
and 3 of my brothers, we are 4 brothers. I'm the eldest. We have Idan in the middle, and Gali and Ziv are the youngest, the twins. All of them lived in Kibbuz Kfar Aza. I was born there, I was raised there, I worked there for more than 20 years. This was my home, and this was the future home for me and my kids. We were planning on moving to Kfar Aza before October 7th. So all of them were in the kibbutz. I'm the only one who left Kfar Aza. I was living then in the north of Israel, in Zichron Yaakov. My youngest daughter woke me up 5 minutes before all the alarms. So I was awake. I sat back on the bed, and 6:29 the alarm started. I turned on the TV. I said, okay, it will be an hour, maybe 2 hours. Sadly, we are used to this. And then at 7:15, I saw in the news, the first pickup truck of terrorists in the city of Sderot, less than 10 minutes away from Kfar Aza. And then, okay, this is something else. It's not just rockets. I entered the kibbutz group chat, and it was terrible, like Yonatan said. I contacted my brothers and my mother. We spoke in the early morning at 7:30. They were relatively safe. My mother, Idan, and Gali and Ziv. We talked among ourselves. And they said they're hearing live ammunition, and they're hearing shouting in Arabic. But it's far away, and it's getting closer, and it's around them, but not on them. And it was so confusing and so weird. And I think it was 8:30 in the morning, I woke my wife up. It was a Saturday. It was a holiday. So my kids and my wife were sleeping. I was on the TV and on my phone with my family in a war zone, 2 hours drive from them. I woke my wife up. I said, there is a war in the south, in Kfar Aza. It's not just missiles. I need to go there. And she woke up and she told me, what are you going to do? You won't be able to get there. And I stayed in my apartment, completely cut off from my family, who was behind the door. I was in Kfar Aza, 2 hours away from Kfar Aza. We lost connection with Gali and Ziv between 9:30 and 10 in the morning. We know after, I don't know if you asked me the question, so we know after that they were kidnapped together with Emily Damari, who came back in the 19th of January. Gali went to Emily in the morning. She texted him that she's afraid. So we called our mother, and he told her that Emily is afraid. I'm taking a kitchen knife and I'm going to be with her. And they sent us a selfie from her safe room. And they entered their safe room. They took both of them. They shot her in the hands and killed her dog. And they burned Ziv's apartment from the outside. He had an option, either to be burned inside his apartment or go out and be taken. So we get out. And all 3 of them were taken together to Gaza in her car. Like Yonatan said, we knew nothing for us. It was 11 days, but I think being kidnapped was the last option that we thought about in those 11 days. We heard the numbers by then, and we knew about hostages from Kfar Aza. But the thought that my 2 little brothers are kidnapped was not on the table. We thought either they will just pop up from somewhere, or that we are just waiting for the announcement that we have to bury my 2 little brothers. And on the 11th day, the IDF came and informed us that they were kidnapped. And I share the same feeling as Yonatan. It was the happiest day of my life, because the other alternative was much worse. And then you have a feeling that the floor beneath your feet is disappearing, and you're falling. And you're falling and you're falling, and you don't know what you will hit on your way down. But then we gather ourselves, we breathe, and then we said, okay, at least we don't have to bury them. We don't know the condition, if they were taken alive, dead, injured, we didn't know anything. But we don't have to bury them. And then we started our journey until today.
So tell us about your journey to release your brother. What have you been doing and how it impacts you?
So when they informed us that Gali and Ziv were taken, and after the initial shock and despair and what's now, we discussed among ourselves and each got a responsibility. I was given the delegations. I was given the foreign minister of the family to speak about them and to be all over the world to help bring them back. I started together with Yonatan and his brother Ido in Washington, D.C. It was in November. Then we were in the European Parliament in December. Then we split, sadly. I continue to do media in Israel and go to the Knesset, but my main goal, as I realized early on, is that the outside has more leverage for me than inside of Israel. So in January, I was in London and Madrid. Then I went to New York. Then I went again to New York. Then I was in Milano. Then I was in Washington, D.C. for the second time. Then I was in Munich, then Berlin, then Washington, D.C. again. And now I'm here. I can't count in how many places, but I'm in a tunnel vision right now. I don't see to the sides. I have a mission that my mother gave me on the 11th day to bring my two little brothers. And I'm dealing with a guilt. I know it's irrational. I couldn't have done anything. I was 2 hours away with no weapon, and I couldn't do anything to help them on October 7. But since then, I'm dealing with a guilt that I'm their elder brother. I was supposed to be there to help them and to keep them safe. And I took the mission from my mother to bring them back by any means necessary. I think we asked to enter Gaza and to search for them ourselves. I think every family has asked for this. We weren't allowed, so I came to President Trump and here and everywhere. And Avi asked how it's impacting me. I'm not the father I'm supposed to be. I'm not the husband I'm supposed to be. I'm not the son I'm supposed to be. What I am right now is a brother of two hostages. This is who I am. This is my life right now. I'm not working. Actually, I quit my job 2 months before, but the thought of going to a job interview while I'm doing the most important thing of my life I can't. I can't go to a job interview. I can't work. I have a mission, and this is my life right now, and I will do it until the last hostage. We will get Gali and Ziv, and we will get everyone. And Avi began with saying about Idan Alexander, and I texted his mother today that I'm so excited for her, and that she will ignore everything, and she did whatever she can to bring her little boy back home. And this is what I'm doing. I'm doing whatever I can to bring my two little brothers back home. So,
Yonatan, you've been speaking to leaders around the world and meeting with Jewish and non-Jewish communities. What that experience has been like for you as an Israeli and as a Jew?
From my point of view, it was, because what we've been through, it was tough. Every place we go, in most places, I think workers were very respectful and welcoming. But most of the time I didn't feel they really do something. We asked them to do anything that they can. And most of the time it was like, we will do it, but it's the thing that you encounter a situation that you haven't encountered, and nobody, I think, ever encountered before. You don't know what is going to the thing that's going to affect and bring to a hostage deal. And every family took part and different action to do it without even knowing if it's going to affect the deal. So I think Liran and I go to all around the world, but when my brother was killed by the IDF because they mistakenly identified him as a terrorist. And I ask myself all the time, why do I need to go all around the world? I just need to take a picture of Alon to the soldiers at the field. So when they see him, they understand that this is Alon. So it's so like chaotic and sporadic and irrational that you're trying to do whatever you can and you think it's working, but you don't know what's coming. And I think when we've been in the European Parliament, some of the EU members talked very, it was like 2 months after October 7. And they didn't understand why Israel attacked Gaza. And you're standing there, you've been 20 hours in the safe room, they took your brother away, they killed 62 people from your kibbutz, they murdered, raped, and burned more than 1,000 people, citizens, and they did nothing. And then you need to advocate for the action of Israel. And it seems so bizarre. But even that, you don't care. You say, okay, but you understand that there are citizens that is now kidnapped, they are in tunnels, they starved and tortured. So it was very like a roller coaster. Some of the leaders were so welcoming and tried to connect with you to people, and some of them was like, what do you want?
And this is a question for both of you. If there's one thing people in this room can do to help, what would that be? What do you want everyone here to take away and actually do after hearing your stories?
Our job, my job right now, is to give my brothers a voice because they can't be heard. So I'm here to give their story, who they are, and what they need. They need a deal to go back to my mother, to hug my father. So what you can do is spread the word. And we talked a little before, and someone asked me, do you feel that it's helping? And I said, yes. Every little drop, it's like with enough drops, the dam will be...
it's called the ripple effect. Advot.
Yeah. So we were in a run for their lives, and here in Düsseldorf, and the day of the Israel Day, and like It starts in Düsseldorf, and then it goes to Gelsenkirchen and Mönchengladbach and Münster, and each city will do just a little bit more, and then the Rhine area will say to Chancellor Merz, listen, the Rhine area support you to do whatever you can to bring the hostages back. And if it's the Rhine area, and then Bavaria, and then other places, and then Germany saying unconditionally, we are supporting the return of the hostages, and then Germany going to the European Parliament with German power over the European Parliament. And yes, and it starts here in Düsseldorf, but Düsseldorf is an example of one small city that impact other cities, that impact the bigger picture. So each of you can do a little thing, but it's more than it was yesterday. If you start today, it's still more than it was yesterday. So talk about the hostages, talk to your representative, talk to your mayor, talk to whoever will listen to you, and it starts small. Even now, 584 days later, even now there are still 58 hostages in Gaza that need your help, not just mine, that need everyone's help. Israel and Germany share the same values. Life is sacred, and Jewish people all over the world. Burial is sacred, and Shiva is sacred, and a grave to put a rose on it for the families is sacred. And we are doing what we can, and we are giving it to you to use it, to pass it on, if it's either social media or mainstream media or your representative, whatever. Do just a little, it helps. It helps. And my perspective.
I don't have so much more to add because Liran really summarized it perfectly. Just to say that in any big change or anything that you really want to affect, the small things matters. And even if you think that what are you doing now, it's just a little gesture, like on Facebook, like share a post, like put a poster in a fence, just the people around you will see it. You don't know who is going to affect. And this is what's, I think, both mindset. When we go to the delegation all around the world, you met with anybody and you don't know what you're going to move. And there is the ripple effect, as Liran stated, that you don't know where it's going to end, but you need to do. As long as you're doing, even if it's small things, this is the thing. And I think it's right for everything in life. As long as you're doing and you think you're doing the right thing, things will come for you. But I think Liran said it all.
And Yonatan mentioned to me, out of the 58 hostages in Gaza right now, 8 of them are German national. 8 are dual citizenship, Israeli and German, including my 2 little brothers. And this is my 3rd time in 2025 in Germany. And we are here to say to Chancellor Merz, do more. We saw what a strong president can do for his own citizens with now Idan Alexander and President Trump. And Chancellor Merz can do more. And I think this is your place. I'm not living here. I can't. Lobbying is government every day. But you can through different people to lobbying, to do more. I'm giving an idea that we throw when we were in Berlin in March. Ask him if he can host a convention of the mediators here in Berlin, here in Germany. We know that Germany has connection to Qatar, to the US, to Egypt, to Turkey, and to Iran. Germany has connection to all of them. So if Germany will host a convention here, it will be easier to all the families to come to Germany and not to Doha, where it's hardly impossible to get and be in the city while they mediate for a deal. So if you can, I don't know, throw it to a newspaper or something that he will think about it, because we already talked about it. We talked about it with President Steinmeier in Berlin, and the idea is floating around. But if it's coming from you are asking the Chancellor to host a convention of the mediators here in Germany, in Berlin, it will be easier for us to come and be in the city. And this is one small thing you can do. Just float the idea again around.
Thank you. As Liran say, you are very strong people. I walk alongside those to these families for a very long time now, and they need that help. We walked together yesterday here in Düsseldorf, Run for Their Lives, and I know it's hard, and we hear people shouting at us, cursing. So for me, I want to add that this is not something just for the families and friends of the hostages. This is something for every human being. If we have the same values, and we all have, and if we will say the world and the people around us that Jews' lives matters and human lives matters, it will start the correction of everything that some of you, I think, like I experienced yesterday, feel and see the reality changes during the last year in Europe or everywhere. And by saying these lives matter, lives are important, if we are saying that to us, we will show it to the world, and it will be the key to correct everything that we are experience as a society. And now it's time for your question, if you have. And you can ask everything, right? You can totally ask everything. We are 584 days after we have heard it all. Yeah. So you can ask.
Hi, I'm Cornelia. I want to ask Yonatan, how is feel when your second baby comes in these times? So, how does it feel when your second baby is coming in these times, when it was born?
My second baby born 3 weeks after my brother was killed. And try to imagine that you are not really happy when your son is born, and you ask yourself so many philosophical questions of starting where do I bring my son to which wall? But I can say you that my kids are the light for me. They are saving me every day. You don't have the privilege to break. You need to get up every morning and be strong for them, play with them. They don't care that they want a father. So it's very selfish for me, but because I couldn't survive without my son, not my daughter, and those are the things that keeps me alive.
anyone else, questions, stories, something.
I think it was so powerful, Yonatan, what you said, how you got over this time in the shelter with your kid at celebrating birthday. How did she ask later on something?
So as a typical Israeli man, if she didn't say it's something wrong, so everything is okay. This is what I thought. But we are advised to go to a trained psychologist just to... And my Yali, my daughter, she's very smart, and every parent will say it on this case. But she understands everything, and she knows to talk from very early age. And right on, we understand that she understands most of it. And she grew up in a different place 2 months after my brother was killed. So it was like something that she grew up into. And they told us to tell her everything. And it was very hard. Because now you need to tell your 2-year-old what happened in their own world. Like to say there was bad guys that go inside the kibbutz, but there were good soldiers that fought them, and the good soldiers won. But the bad guys took Alon, your uncle, that we love and miss. And we're not going to see him anymore because he's dead right now. And it's now she's 3.5. The questions are much more deeper. Now she knows what is the definition of hostage, what is a cemetery, what is a grave, how it looks like. She asked me why they took him. She asked me where they took him. Why they didn't send him free. And you can't really relate to all the conflict, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict with a 3-year-old girl. So you're trying to summarize to very specific.
I have another question to Liran. What about your youngest brother and the second one? What is your wife saying about your way of life now?
The first question was?
About your youngest brother. You said you are 4.
We are 4. I'm the eldest. Idan is in the middle. He was rescued from Kfar Aza on Sunday. And Gali and Ziv are the youngest. As far as we know, the latest update is that they are alive, separated in Gaza. And my wife, it's not easy. It's not easy for her. She is a hero. She's working full time and doing most of the work with the kids and holding the house together. When I'm at home, I'm trying as best as I can to be a father. It's not the same. I'm not the man I was before October 7. I'm completely different. But I'm trying to be there for them. When I'm home, there is 2 days that I'm cut off from everything. My kid has a football practice. It is Monday and Thursday, and nothing comes between that. It's between 5 p.m. and 6 p.m. No one contacts me. I'm turning off my phone. I'm alone with him in his football practice. But it's difficult. I need to schedule time for my kids in this chaotic world that I'm living. And it's not their fault. It's not their fault. It's not my wife's fault. But she's holding the fortress at home.
I've got a very personal question, Joe, and I don't know whether you want to answer it. In such horrible things which you have to go through, still are going through, sometimes people turn more religious or less religious. Could you say anything about your being religious as a Jew, did it change anything for you?
It's a question to both of us, right? Yeah. Okay.
Can answer as well.
Avi can answer also. I'm secular. I always was secular. My wife is traditional. She doesn't go to the synagogue on Saturday or anything, but she keeps kosher and she try as best as she can to keep Shabbat. But all the holidays and then the Kiddush on Friday, this is the only thing that I changed. I'm doing a Kiddush every Friday. But this is a theological question. Also, it was in the Holocaust. Where was God? But the people who was rescued said, God helped me. The people who got killed, their families said, where was God? So it's the same question again and again. I remain secular. I don't think if there is a higher power, where was it? Why wasn't it in Kfar Aza? Why didn't it help my brothers? Why wasn't it there to stop the IDF from Alon? So I don't. It didn't change anything. What it did make for me is that I think I'm more patriotic toward Israel and not toward Judaism, but toward Israel much more. I'm here also, I'm here for my brothers, but anyone who will say bad thing about Israel, I will battle them because I'm not here for my government, I'm here for my country. And I have stronger feeling for my country than it was before October 7th.
So I came from my father was pretty religious. He was founded the synagogue in Kfar Aza. My mother was secular. I define myself as a secular person, even though I attend Shabbat at Tefillah in Kfar Aza almost every week. This is because my father asked me. But after the 7th, it was the first time that my father didn't fast on Yom Kippur. And when I asked him why he stopped fasting, he said to me that God messed with the wrong person, and I don't want to get between them. So I leave them to figure it out. But as Liran said, after the 7th of October, I didn't get more religious, but I wanted to connect to my Jewish values more. Because I don't know what's happened in Germany, but in Israel, very small group define now who is Jew and who is not, and which now it's very strict rules, and I don't think the rules need to define who is Jewish and who is not, because Jewish is a beautiful religious with a great values and with a great tradition. And we are, as a Jewish nation, need to be together. And even after this tragedy, we can't put our hands in the sand. We need to come out from this tragedy stronger, better. We need to speak loud that nothing will break us. We need to do it firmly and strongly. We need to do it every place. We don't need to fear anymore. We need to figure it out how to do it with all the communities to unite as one big nation, because we are one. There is no place that Jewish haven't encountered anti-Semitism or anything else, and we always try to integrate and go to the side, and by avoiding any confrontation. And I think we need to step up. I think we need to speak more loudly, and to be more aggressor, and to say that we are not going to take it anymore. Nothing will break us. We are stronger than, and we'll be here for thousands of years, and we're going to be here for 1,000 more. And I think the 7th of October really sharpened my thoughts about this.
First of all, I want to thank you for sharing news from your life. And my question is, how are you dealing with it? That now that you traveled around the world, you talked to so many politicians or people who are leaders and who can make an impact or who are in powers. And I can only talk from my view. Every now and then, when it's possible for me, I'm participating in this Run for Their Life here in Düsseldorf. Because you said you asked us to do what we can do, just this little thing. And I try to do my best, but when I'm talking to people in my around me, where I'm living, they are not interested in it anymore. Or they are doing this, saying this, oh, it's Israel's fault. So when I'm kind of disappointed about our politicians or people, even, I can only say my view to the little things I know, the Jewish leaders here in Germany. And what can we do except praying to God? So I'm believing in Jesus, so I pray for the hostages. I pray for Israel for peace. But how are you dealing with it that now that you did so many traveling, so much talking? For me, it's kind of hypocrisy. For the people in power, how are you dealing with it? Because to imagine these people in the tunnels is, I don't have words.
Regarding what the first thing you said, the run of their lives, it's important. Don't pay attention to people who oppose you. They are not the target. The target are people who are questioning, who are on the fence, and the people who the people you can reach and talk to. The opposing ones left that for the politician to fight in politics. But reach out for the people on the fence, the people who are asking questions, genuine questions, not to do like lunch. So Run for the Life is important. What you're doing every week, it's important. More initiative like this, it's important. And we are seeing it from Israel. We are seeing it. And the hostages knows that people all over the world fighting for them. It doesn't matter if it's 2, or if it's 40, if it's rallies of 30,000. They see it. They see it. There is a woman in Berlin that I'm following on social media, Caroline. She is standing by herself with a sign, with a picture, and this is it. She's not saying anything. She's not confronting anyone. She's just standing with a sign. And people come, and it's a topic. But she's one, and people see her. You are doing with 40 people. People see you, all 40 of you every week. So it's important, and we see it. We see it from Israel, in Germany, and in Australia, in the US, everywhere. So don't search for the opposing one. Left this for the politician, and it's your right to be disappointed with them. We are disappointed with all politicians all over the world. We are searching for the next generation of politics, the politics without conflict. And it will come. It's taking a little while, but it will come. And you're right, we are disappointed with all politicians all over the world. So we are searching for the next generation of leaders. We talk safety and not conflict. Peace is a big word. We just talked among ourselves. Peace is a big word. There will never be a peace everywhere, but there can be safety between citizens, and this is important. So don't give up.
And I want to add, you fight lies with truth, and you fight hate with love. Your heart is in the right place. Keep doing what you're doing. Okay? Just keep doing what you're doing.
You almost answered already my question. I've been in Israel in the 70s, and after seeing and hearing, like Yocheved Lifshitz, I don't know, is this a political surrounding you grew up in, like she did, and a lot of years I hoped for kind of peace or understanding. But I stopped believing in peace. I think to make a big pocket place would be the best solution for everybody. But I'm alone in this. And I would like to ask you, do you still believe in any kind of peace?
Just one more, and then Yonatan is the politician in between us.
You just said you don't like any politician.
I like you. Like I said, peace is a big word with a lot of complications. Safety is achievable, and we need to reach safety. We need to reach safety, and it's a possibility. Jordan is not shooting at us. There is peace, okay, peace with Jordan, but they are not shooting at us. And we feel safe from Jordan, and we feel safe from Egypt, and we feel safe from places that are not in conflict with us. And we're trying to reach a non-conflict situation. Again, peace is big. We have peace with Egypt, but I can't go to Cairo. So I'm trying that Cairo won't shoot missiles at me. This is better than the alternative, okay? And now the politician will talk.
Politician or diplomat?
Middle. If you ask about, as Liran said, peace is a big word, but if you ask about specific the Israel and Gaza, the only solution is to educate the youth. When I've been asking hundreds of times if I'm planning to coming back to Kfar Aza, I tell them I have only one condition. I want to know what the children in first grade, what the books look like. If I know this, I will consider it. But the opposite from hate is education. And if you ask yourself how mass terrorists go inside kibbutzim, killed babies, raped women, beheaded people, and then burned them, you can go 10 years back to see what they learn in schools. When I was in school, I've been taught about peace, about coexistence, about how you can live together happily ever after. And from the other side, they taught them that they need to eliminate every Jewish on the planet, that the state of Israel is theirs, and they should kill every Israeli they see. And if we will not start to educate or monitoring the education on the other side, there is no hope for this region, unfortunately. This is my take.
As I heard, you're in contact with the freed hostages. what can you tell us about their living now? Maybe you can tell us what kind of living they are having now, what kind of support, psychological support or financial support they get. Maybe you can tell them something about
the released hostages?
The released hostages, yes.
The released hostages are different from one another, from what I know. And everyone is in another condition. Some of them, if not all of them, are fighting for those they left behind. They're fighting more than we are, because they can't continue, they can't heal, they can't do anything, because they saw in their eyes their friend that they left in the tunnels. So we, as the people that were outside the towns, yes, can't really understand what they've been through. And I can tell you that they that came outside of the tunnels after a year and a half of darkness can't really understand what happened here while they weren't here. So it's a very difficult situation. I know that in Israel they getting take care of them very good, but they are all saying the same thing. You have to bring all of them, because otherwise we can't go on. We can't continue, we can't heal.
And I only spoke with 2-3 of them that came out, and I think there is a problem. Like Avi touched it. There is a problem that they can't really pass on. They can pass the testimony what they went through in the tunnels, but it's words. You can't understand what they went through. You can't. I saw all the video from October 7th, but you can't understand the fear of being in your safe room for 10-12 hours from videos. And you can't understand what the hostages that were in the tunnels for 500 and I don't know what days are really feeling, even though you're seeing them and hearing their testimonies. And you can't, this is what Avi touched, you can't tell them what you did for them. How they can live with this. They like, you are saying to them, I was in Washington and I was this and I did this and I did this, and it's humbling for them. They feel that they are not deserving this, that it was supposed to be someone else that fight for you, and why did you break your family for me? And it's too emotionally for them to hear what we did for them. So it's a very complicated situation. And I think this is something that academia would need to study. And we are now writing the book for social workers and psychologists and psychiatrists of how to treat families and hostages, civilians, for future generation. This is written on us. And we don't know the good answers. We don't have it. But they do get ratio from the government and do get treatment, each to their own, some physical, some mental. But no one knows the correct amount of what they need. It's unheard of.
Thank you very much. I finish and say that when you're coming from Israel in the situation we are, to those places and to here, especially in Düsseldorf, you guys, everyone that here came to hear us and support us, giving us hope. And it's a lot. It's a lot. Because we are coming from darkness and we can see a shadow, the silver of light here. And I want to thank you and to give you strength to keep going, to keep support us keep support humanity and values that we all share. Thank you very much.